Welcome back, church. So today is our devotional for Saturday, June 21st, as we prepare for our church yard sale and or host, because I'm doing this on Thursday, as we have our church yard sale and also make music upper perk in our wider community, and look forward to those events. So little pre-recording so I can do some other stuff on Saturday. Today we step into Psalm 83. The conclusion from James Mays I thought was very striking and appropriate. So we'll share that. There's going to be that there will be some familiar elements in this psalm as we come into Psalm 83, and this is a psalm of Asaph. O God, do not keep silence, and do not hold your peace or be still. O God, even now your enemies are in tumult. Those who hate you have raised their heads. They lay crafty plans against your people. They consult together against those you protect. They say, come, let us wipe them out as a nation. Let the name of Israel be remembered no more. They conspire with one accord. Against you they make a covenant. The tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites, Moab and the Hagrites, Gebel and Ammon and Amalek, Philistia and the inhabitants of Tyre. Assyria also has joined them. They are the strong arm of the children of Lot. Selah. Do to them as you did to Midian, as to Sisera and Jabin at the Wadi Kishon, who were destroyed at Endor, who became dung for the ground. Make their nobles like Oreb and Zeeb, all the princes like Zeba and Zalmunna, who said, let us take the pastures of God for our own possession. Oh my God, make them like whirling dust, like chaff before the wind, as fire consumes the forest. As the flame sets the mountains ablaze, so pursue them with your tempest and terrify them with your hurricane. Fill their faces with shame so that they may seek your name, O Lord. Let them be put to shame and dismayed forever. Let them perish in disgrace. Let them know that you alone, whose name is the Lord, are the most high over all the earth. And from James Mays. Actually, let me give you a little bit of the beginning portion too. Psalm 83 is a prayer of the people of God when enemies plot their liquidation. The prayer sees the plot as a conspiracy to usurp the place on earth that belongs in a special way to the Lord of all the earth. Talk about the enemies of God belongs to the vision of the Lord as the divine warrior, which we have encountered numerous times now, who wins the battle of creation against the primeval forces of chaos and the battle of salvation to deliver his people. He goes on to identify some extra psalmic sources that are coming up, including Exodus 15 and Deuteronomy 32. And then we also see this in Psalm 66, 68, 74, 21, 18, and 89, 23 and 18. In all these contexts, the theological issue is the vindication of the Lord as sovereign of the universe and earth. It is, of course, venturesome and dangerous, let me repeat, and dangerous for the people of God to see those who threaten them as the enemies of God and to invoke God's vengeance against them. Such prayers can easily become the language of a self-serving, blind ideology. The prophets insistently reminded Israel that they could and did become the ones who obstructed the coming of God's kingdom in the world. The integrity of such a prayer for Israel depended on the integrity of their life as the people of the Lord. The Apostle Paul reminded the early church that while we were yet enemies, we were reconciled to God through the death of his Son, from Romans 5:10. But the scandal of God's election of a particular people and his involvement with a particular story inevitably mean that the way of God in the world confronts opposing hostile forces. For the early church, the enemies were the cosmic powers of the present darkness, the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places, from Ephesians 6. The prophet John saw the enemy incarnate in the imperial forces of persecution from Revelation 17 to 18. It takes no imagination to guess the horror that Jews feel on reading the declaration of the covenant of hate. Come, let us wipe them out as a nation. Let the name of Israel be remembered no more. Modern history is punctuated with attempts by secularized powers to dispossess the people of the Lord in both synagogue and church. Psalm 83 is in the Psalter as the prayer of his people, whose existence is the work of his reign, and who leave the vengeance to God. Leaving the vengeance to God is the good culmination to that. And now Eugene Peterson from the Message, an Asaph psalm. God, don't shut me out. Don't give me the silent treatment, oh God. Your enemies are out there whooping it up. The God haters are living it up. They're plotting to do your people in, conspiring to rob you of your precious ones. Let's wipe this nation from the face of the earth, they say. Scratch Israel's name off the books. And now they're putting their heads together, making plans to get rid of you. Edom and the Ishmaelites, Moab and the Hagrites, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, Philistia and the Tyrians. And now Assyria has joined up, giving muscle to the gang of Lot. Do to them what you did to Midian, to Sisera and Jabin at Kishon Brook. They came to a bad end at Endor, nothing but dung for the garden. Cut down their leaders as you did Oreb and Zeeb, their princes to nothings like Zebah and Salmonah. With their empty brags, we're grabbing it all, grabbing God's gardens for ourselves. My God, I've had it with them. Blow them away, tumbleweeds in the desert waste, charred sticks in the burned over ground. Knock the breath right out of them so they're gasping for breath, gasping God. Bring them to the end of their rope and leave them there dangling, helpless. Then they'll learn your name, God, the one and only high God on earth. I wish you could see this portion because Peterson does something interesting, and it parallels with what you heard in the NRSV when it says, know the name of the Lord. And so for Peterson, he did God, but it's all capitalized and in quotations. An interesting emphasis on the power of the name of Yahweh, or whatever source that they're using for the translation of the Lord. Alrighty, so that's Psalm 83. We'll be catching on Monday as we come into Psalm 84. Reminder that book 2, what book are we in? Book 3 runs till Psalm 89. So we'll be finishing that up and stepping into book 4 over the next week or 2 weeks. Alrighty, have a great day, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.